Now that we've finished that crazy Weedle run from April Fools, it's time to get back to our normal content. We have our good friend Andrew Palmer, who's dropped lots of comments, he's even contributed video titles to me, and he voted for right. So today we're taking the right Pokeball, which is Seaking. Now, Seaking is a lot like other Sea Kings in popular culture. It can use Supersonic to confuse its opponents. In the late game, it's going to be able to use some incredible combos that will enable it to defeat even really powerful opponents. So let's get into it and see how Seaking does in a full game 0 DVs run. Let's get into it. So we're naming today's hero for Andrew Palmer, and let's get into our run here. We're gonna also name our rival Weedle, just because I'm ready to Put Weedle completely to bed in this one. Now, we're gonna get our Seaking and see its moveset at the beginning of the game is basically Peck, Tail Whip, and Supersonic. Now, that doesn't seem like a great moveset, but it's gonna get us through the rival just fine. We're just going to use a lot of Pecks after we set up Confusion on it, and there we go. Next, in Viridian Forest, Peck is super effective against the Bug-type Pokemon, so this is a super easy one too. Brock is where we face a real challenge. You see, Brock will resist Peck, and we won't have many turns to set up our Tail Whips. So here's what we gotta do. We have to confuse him, and then use Tail Whip to cause him to cause greater and greater amounts of damage when he hits himself in confusion. If we can get the luck to get through Geodude, it's on to Onix, where, again, confuse it and start setting up Tail Whips. We just need to get our 6 Tail Whips off and get the luck that it will hit itself in confusion multiple times. Here we're already down to 3 HP, but if we can just get the luck, we get through. So that's the strategy with Seaking in the early game. We're really just using Supersonic and Tail Whip to help us get through a lot of these fights. Now, Team Rocket's not that bad because they don't have anything super strong. If we take a lot of bites or if we get poisoned, we can get taken out though. Here, we get decent luck and get through. And it's on to Misty. Misty's going to be more of the same. We have to use Supersonic to confuse her Pokemon. And then it's really just about using Peck and Tail Whip to get through. We're really just hoping not to take a lot of tackles. There's a 50-50 chance that Starmie will use Harden or Tackle. We much prefer Harden. And here it's getting fairly low. Yeah, we've got 3 HP, but we get through. And that lets us pick up the first really useful move in this run, which is Bubble Beam. Bubble Beam is going to let us get through a lot of this kind of early part of the mid-game. Starting here with Rival 2. Bubble Beam is fairly strong, takes out Spearow in 2 hits, Sandshrew is a 1 hit, 2 hits for Rattata, and it's gonna be 3 hits here on Eevee. But with that done, we can get through to Bill's house. There's really no challenge going north from Cerulean, so we just get right down to Rival 3, and now we're a few levels higher. We're basically just one-hitting his Pokemon, except for Eevee, 2 shots with Bubble Beam. Let's get cut, and I thought really hard about it, but I decided that I would go ahead and fight Lieutenant Surge here. The reason is because Lieutenant Surge just attacks randomly. He doesn't use Smart AI, and if we can confuse him and then just get good luck, we get through. Easy. And the next section of the game is really quite easy. We get through Rock Tunnel with no trouble. We're just going to use Bubble Beam to take out the self-destruct hiker. And now we're going to get to the Rocket Game Corner before we mess with Erica, because we can pick up the most useful move in the entire game for Seaking. Horn Drill. Horn Drill is going to make some impossible fights possible. But first, Giovanni, just a couple Bubble Beams. We're going to get through all of his Pokemon. Persian takes 3 hits, but it's fine. But here, we can start to see how important Horn Drill really is when we get to Erica. You see, Horn Drill lets us take out Tangela, it's going to take out Weepinbell, and it's going to take out Gloom. 3 Horn Drills, and that battle is done. So now let's go to the Pokemon Tower in Lavender and take on Rival 4. Here, Horn Drill makes a lot of these Pokemon fairly easy. And Bubble Beam on Sandshrew and Bubble Beam on Eevee, and we'll get through just fine. On to Jesse and James at the end, it's the same story. We can use Bubble Beam on Meowth, and then Horn Drill on Ekans, or on Arbok and Weezing. And they go down very, very easily. Now, this is the time I'm going to tell you that this is actually my second run doing this. I lost all of the video files for the first run, so I actually kind of already knew what I was doing at this point. That's why I knew that Horn Drill is really the way to go here. And it happened actually in the first run here against Koga. You see, we outspeed all three Venonats, so we can take them out very easily with Horn Drill. But Venomoth is very, very difficult. We're using Ice Beam to try to freeze it, but once it gets low health, we just switch to Surf and take it down. Now we can take on Rival 5. And here, we need to get Horn Drill to connect on Cloyster and Magneton. Magneton can take us out very easily. Here, Kadabra, we're going to use Swift, and finally Flareon. It gets us all the way down to 7 HP, but we get through. Now Giovanni's not going to be too much difficulty. We're just going to spam Surf over and over again and get through his Pokemon. They're not really a challenge for Seaking. It's a good change since that Weedle run last week. Anyway, we are now through most of the middle game, and it's on to Sabrina. So Sabrina, we actually are going to use Swift. We don't have any way to outspeed her Pokemon to use Horn Drill, but here we use one Ice Beam on Alakazam and freeze it, and that's a guaranteed win. There's no way to thaw out in Generation 1 unless you use an item or you get a fire move used on you. So if we ever freeze our opponent, it's a guaranteed win after that. Here against Blaine, super easy, just start spamming Surf. We can get taken out with moves like Stomp and Takedown, but fortunately we get through, no problem here. Now, Giovanni's where it gets hard. I went in at level 42 and I was just trying to get through him. And tons of attempts, it just wasn't working out. We either got taken out by Dugtrio, by Persian, either of the Nidos using Thunder. It just wasn't happening. So finally I came back after using my rare candies to get to level 48. Level 48 will let us get through this run a little bit easier. We're not guaranteed to win, but we are outspeeding at this point. And Rhydon is an easy one-hit KO. So that's all of the middle game done, and now to the end game. First, Rival 6. He's going to be super easy because we have so many strong moves. Horn Drill will take out Cloyster and Magneton. We can use Swift here on Kadabra, and then it's a couple of Surfs on Flareon. Done and done. Now we can get through to the Elite Four, and you're going to see a lot of resets in these battles. Starting here with Lorelei. You see, with Lorelei, what we need to happen is we need to get a Horn Drill to hit Dugong, a Horn Drill on Cloyster, and a Horn Drill on the Slowbro. Now we can use Surf on Jinx, and we need one more Horn Drill to take out Lapras. Yes, we could try grinding it out with other moves, but this is the most effective and consistent way to get through this fight. Next, we're going to move on to Bruno, and Bruno should be really, really easy, right? Well, we do have super effective moves against Onix, but one high jump kick will take us out. Let's try it again. Surf. We're going to use Surf a couple times on Hitmonchan, a couple Surfs on Hitmonlee. We can take out Onix reliably in one Surf, and now Horn Drill to take out Machamp, and we're through to Agatha. Agatha is the next place this gets really difficult. What we need to do is we need to use our remaining rare candies to get to level 54 so we can get Agility. Agility is a must here. It's not just for badge boosts. We need to outspeed her Pokemon. Then we can try to set up Ice Beam. Hopefully get a freeze on either of the Gengars, and that will make this a much more consistent battle. Here's the run where I finally got through. I'm setting up first by using agility. Now I'm trying to use Ice Beam. She switches into Golbat and then back to Gengar, back to Golbat. Here, we're able to just slowly whittle them down. Surf is just fine for Haunter. We're going to use a Horn Drill here on Arbok. And now Ice Beam on Gengar. Once I realized that it was getting on low health, I changed to Surf, however, because it's a stronger move. We get through, and there we go. On the Lance. Lance is easy. 1 agility, then we need to get a Horn Drill off on Gyarados. Then we can use Blizzard on both of the Dragonairs, Surf on Aerodactyl, and 1 Blizzard will take out Dragonite. Or sorry, it actually took 2 because of a Hyper Potion. It's a range, guys. Now it's up against the rival, the champion. Let's see if we can beat Weedle, okay? So, it takes a ton of resets, even with badge boosts, even with agility. What we're trying to set up is 1 agility on the Sand Slash. Then we want to use Horn Drill on Alakazam. We have to get through Exeggutor. We might use Blizzard or we might use Horn Drill. Then Cloyster and Magnet on both. We need to hit with Horn Drill. Finally, if we can get to the Flareon, we're going to use Surf to try to get through. Can we get the luck? It's run after run after run on this one. But finally, we get here to the final attempt. Agility once, we take a Slash, but we use Surf. Now Horn Drill takes out Alakazam. We take a few turns, but we finally land a Horn Drill on Exeggutor. We take out Magneton and Cloyster in 1 hit. And now it's 2 hits to take out Flareon. And we are through the game on minimum battles, 0 DVs, with a Seaking. We did have to use our rare candies, but we have completed this portion of the quest. There's one last challenge, Mewtwo. Mewtwo was easy. 1 agility, 1 Horn Drill, done. So there we have it. How did we do with Seaking? Actually, it's not a very difficult Pokemon to run through the game once you know the strategies. And I really wanted to put together one where we didn't use Double Team. Boss Kaio commented on the previous video that Double Team was probably going to be a must and Mimic. No, it's just about Agility and Horn Drill. Those moves in combination are potentially broken in Generation 1. So, with that being done, we can now move on and check what is our next Pokemon. Let's find out what Pokemon we get for next week's run. So for anybody new to the RBY Pokemon Challenges community, we have a special way of choosing next week's Pokemon. You see, we have here the official RBY Pokemon Challenges website, where we have 3 random Pokeballs that we can choose based on your comments each week. Now our community, guys like Andrew Palmer, Boss Kaio, Ken Schmidt, they're kings of the memes. And they have come up with memes for this as well. We have, for people who want the left Pokeball, you can vote leftovers. If you would like the center Pokeball, just drop a comment below saying Pokemon Center. If you'd like to see the right Pokeball, well, that comes down to right on. So last time on our Nidoqueen run, we got a vote from Boss Kaio, voting for the right Pokeball. So let's see what we get in the right Pokeball. Here we are. In the right Pokeball, we have Snorlax. Okay. Well, we're going to be using some Amnesia strats for sure, and Hyper Beam may become a part of this playthrough here. We're never going to outspeed anything, so that's going to be the real challenge. Let's see what we missed in the center Pokeball. If you guys had voted Pokemon Center, we would have gotten a Pidgeot. And if you had voted left, we would have gotten Glue. So we do this every week, but next week, come back for a Snorlax run. Drop your comments below. What do you think we're going to have to do to get through? 0 DVs and minimum battles is going to be a serious challenge on this one, but let's try it. Anyway, this has been Teo from RBY Pokemon Challenges. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Later.